Hi, my name is Mikey, co-host of the Mikey and the Mrs Show on Planet 105.1 in St. George, Utah. I'm a very grumpy, hateful man. I just hate a lot of stuff. But you know what? This world has enough hate in it, and I should probably decrease that hate a little bit. I don't have control over other people, but I do have control over myself. So like Michael Jackson said, I'm starting with the man in the mirror. He, Shemon. I have made a list of things that I hate, and it's a really, really long list. So what I'm going to do is go down that list and try to like the things that I hate, or at the very least, have an appreciation for it. Now, when I put this list together, there was one thing that I knew that I wanted to tackle first: jazz. Freaking hate jazz. To me, jazz just sounds like a bunch of instruments being thrown down the stairs. That's jazz. Listen, I appreciate music. I'm a radio DJ. I can listen to all kinds of different genres, but for some reason, jazz just pisses me off. I mean, jazz just blows. Jazz pun. If I'm honest, I can't really name many jazz musicians at all. Let's see, there's Miles Davis, John Coltrane, Roscoe P. Coltrane, Dizzy Gillespie, Neil Armstrong, I'm so stupid, Louis Armstrong, Duke Silver, Bleeding Gums Murphy, Ryan Gosling, Ron Burgundy, and Carl Malone. See, I told you, I don't know jazz. To be fair, I haven't given it an honest shot before. As soon as I hear jazz, I'm like, no, I hate this, and I change it. It's just crap, in my opinion. But I don't like that I have that opinion. I've decided that I really need to educate myself about jazz. So, when I want to learn something, I go to my public library. Just kidding. I'm going to YouTube. I first looked up the history of jazz. Where did it come from? What are its roots? What has happened to it over the years? Once I got a history, then I started looking at the actual theory. How do the notes work? How do the compositions work? What should I be listening for when I'm listening to jazz? Maybe it'll help me appreciate it. And once again, I've learned something that I've recognized already in the past. White people are not exactly known for their musical innovations. However, one thing white people are really good at is finding stuff that belongs to other people and then taking it. You know, like everything. For example, this is Little Richard. Now look what us white people did to it. Sorry. Listen, on behalf of honkies everywhere, if you want to steal polka, go for it. You'll probably make it a lot better. Anyway, so I've got the history of jazz. I know how jazz works, but there's only one problem. I still hate jazz. That's why I'm going to spend the entire week listening to jazz. Maybe I'll naturally just start to dig it. So to get acquainted with jazz, I'm going to my local library. I'm kidding again. I'm going to Spotify. I started looking for jazz for beginners, and lucky for me, Spotify already had a list, and I just decided I'll go with that. All right, let's do this. Now, because of copyright issues, I can't play the songs I was listening to while driving around. So instead, I'm just playing this royalty-free stuff under it. But trust me when I say I was definitely listening to jazz. I mean, look at that face. That's the face of a man who is not having a good time. So many of these songs I know, but I've never considered them to be jazz. Like Frank Sinatra, I don't think of him as jazz. I just think old. I'm gonna have to rethink some stuff. While I can't say I really enjoyed the singing ones, they were just okay, things took a really bad turn once I heard just the instrumental songs. Oh my gosh, I hate this. I'm like getting genuinely angry. The trumpets, there's like no actual melody. It's just like, what are you doing? Beep, beep, bop, bop, boop, boop, beep, bop, boop, boop. I hate it. What the crap is my deal? I can honestly say that I had a lot of genuine hatred that was just bubbling up to the surface. Oh, I hate it. I hate it. Like a kraken emerging from the sea, ready to devour any jazz musician in sight. I have made a huge mistake. I hate it. I probably could have handled that better. That was a very unpleasant experience. That's what she said. I wasn't in a foul mood to begin with. It was the jazz music that was putting me in a foul mood. Speaking of moods, now that I've had time to think about it, if I want the music to sound different in order for me to like it, that's not going to happen. These songs were recorded decades ago. I can't change that. So if something is going to change, it needs to be me. I need to have an attitude adjustment. So day 2 of the experiment, I had to sequester all my anger and just put it in a little box in the back of my head. You know, like when you work in customer service. And this simple act of just keeping my anger in check really was starting to make a difference. I mean, some of these songs I straight up enjoyed listening to, which was pretty surprising.
I think I have to be in the right mood to listen to jazz. Kind of like how you have to be in the right mood to watch certain movies. Sometimes you feel like comedy, sometimes you feel like drama. I probably listen to a lot of Green Day because I'm always just uptight and ready to yell.
Love Green Day.
Changing my attitude really did make a clear difference from the way I felt the day before. So far, so good. Which led me to a realization.
Maybe what the problem was is that I didn't hate jazz. I just hated certain songs, which is true of every genre. But for some reason, I hear one bad jazz song, and then I just decide that all of jazz is bad. Am I a musical bigot?
Now, I would love to tell you right now that my attitude change fixed the whole problem, but it didn't. After a while of listening to jazz, I was getting sick of it fast. I mean, millions of people love jazz. What am I missing? So I've decided to talk to someone who likes jazz, and maybe I can figure out what I'm missing. Dude, that's what I just freaking said. Open mind, open mind, open mind. Oh. Sorry, I made it weird. I've invited my daughter's friend Lincoln, who likes jazz, and yes, he was just recently changed from a dog into a real boy. So here's the question. Why do you like this crap? Sorry, let me rephrase it. Why the do you like this crap?
I like this crap because I've kind of always just grown up around it, just like my mom's always liked it and always played it.
He then went on to keep on talking about stuff that frankly I was tuning out. But the main thing that he said was that culturally it was always in his house. I was never raised with it. He also told me that not everybody in his family likes jazz.
My older sister hated jazz, and my mom would put it on the radio, and I thought it was really funny to
Just to torture her?
Just to torture her, yeah.
Well, it's interesting you bring that up because I am conducting an experiment where I am torturing myself for 5 days straight just listening to jazz. And I have to be honest, I'm angry. I hate it, like a lot.
Well, what about it makes you angry?
Hearing the notes just beep, and it
So you hate scatting?
No, I was trying to sound like a trumpet.
Oh.
Oh, and the scatting thing is a little stupid too. It's just spippity beep bop a doop doop.
Have you listened to Ella Fitzgerald's scat?
No.
We'll do that. I would recommend How High is the Moon for that because there's most of it is just scatting. So
Hey, speaking of high, I was told that if I do drugs that I would enjoy it more. Would you agree with that?
no comment.
That was the right answer. Yeah! Okay, I'm going to try to have a better attitude, try to open up my mind a little bit. Oh!
Proud of you.
Listen to the music. Okay, I will now change you back into a dog. Poof!
Ah!
Ella Fitzgerald has a beautiful voice. I know, you're probably thinking, well, Dodoy, I'm genuinely not familiar with her voice. That's a good song. I still think I need to take this music in doses, though. I feel like I need a break from it. Otherwise, I'm just gonna start going nuts again. Jazz. It's so different than what I'm used to, and I feel like I can probably appreciate it, but only if I mentally prepare myself beforehand and tell myself, okay, we're gonna go into this now. It's time to change my brain chemistry before you can handle it. How can people be this chill all the time? Was everybody just more relaxed back then? I mean, I'm thinking I would have to be pretty friggin' drunk before I got to the point where I was like, I have to slow down my heartbeat to appreciate this. I just gotta chill the heck out. Open the mind. Someone just saw me do that. I must look like such a freak. All right, I'm getting the knack. I'm getting the hang of it. It still feels pretty fancy though. Like, when I listen to this, I feel like I'm too low class for it. Like, this is something that people who drink champagne would be listening to, you know? In terms of liquor class, I think I'm more of like moonshine than champagne. Oh, Cletus, get you the moonshine! We're having a wedding! That's me. Maybe I just need to class it up a bit. I have an idea. Okay, let's try this again. I kind of feel like a lawyer. When I'm dressed like this and I'm in a nicer car, the songs like genuinely hit different. I feel like I'm a more successful version of myself. And so like listening to this music makes sense for this version of me. I wonder if NPR listeners feel like this all the time. I think I had a breakthrough. I think a lot of the reason why I don't like jazz is because I am annoyed that it is not following a certain pattern, that it is not predictable. I think the biggest problem is the control. So if I let go of my feelings that things need to be a certain way, I can just enjoy it. And I'm sure that that is a metaphor for life. Don't spend all your time just trying to control everything. Just let it happen and you're going to have a much better time. That's probably the biggest thing, is having to simply let go of my thoughts of what a song is and what it's supposed to be and just let it happen. Wow. Big brain moment.
Here are the things that I've learned through the experiment so far. First, I have to change my attitude about jazz, be more open-minded. Oh! I learned from Lincoln that a big reason why he loves jazz is because of just exposure. So I'm going to stay on course and keep on listening to jazz. When I'm about to listen to music that I'm not familiar with, I need to prepare myself and tell myself to get ready. I've got to calm down. Apparently it helps to class it up, so I'm going to keep on wearing the suit because it seems to be a good luck charm. I have to let go of my expectations of what the song I think should sound like and instead just let the song happen to me. It's about the journey. Yeah, I think that's about it.
I have to say, a lot of these love songs are really impressive. Like, the lyrics are very impressive. They're so unabashedly vulnerable. And these love songs, a lot of the time, they really make me think about my wife.
My emotions!
And I'm really, like, in a romantic mood like right now.
My emotions!
Like, after listening for a while, I want to have a slow dance in the dark with my wife. Like, that's awesome. I'm finding that jazz has a way of being romantic without being cheesy. It's those tender kind of feelings that you have for someone, but you're too afraid to just say. I mean, back then it was like, when I kiss you, I hear bells ringing. Right? That's a cheesy thing to just say to somebody. But in a classy song, it just works. Nowadays, the closest we get to it is Jason Derulo saying, when I see your bra, it makes me think of a Katy Perry song. Close, but not as classy. Come on, man, try harder. Holy crap, I think I like jazz. I like jazz. Oh, that sounds weird. I like jazz. I like jazz.
I am delivered.
I like jazz.
Oh,
Hate jazz.
no more.
Is this it? Did I do it?
I was still pretty darn skeptical. There's no way it could have been just this easy. Maybe I was just in a good mood.
I think I should probably call my wife and let her know that I plan on trying to take her clothes off today.
So I kept listening to jazz under different conditions. I listened to it while not wearing a suit. I listened to it while just walking around the neighborhood. And to my astonishment, I still did not hate jazz.
I mean, just to be safe, I've been listening for a really, really long time. I am listening to the same song that I was listening to on the first day where I was getting really, really mad. This is what kills me. Same song. This is how I die. I feel nothing. Wow. I mean, granted, I'm not boppity-bebopping around and thinking, oh, this is great, but I'm not getting mad. Like, it doesn't get to me. I think that's a win. Wow. Go me. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Those are my imaginary fans. They're the only ones I have.
I'm just as surprised as you are. Now, before you call this a miracle cure, do I love jazz? No. Is it among my favorite kinds of music? No again. However, this experiment was to just stop hating jazz. And I can honestly say I do not hate jazz anymore. If I go through the different steps that I've tried, then yes, I can wind up listening to jazz and enjoying it.
Mikey, he hates everything. He likes it. Hey, Mikey.
I feel like I should celebrate somehow. I think I'll go to the library.